Kindness is a battery. Kindness is an energizer. That plays a humongous part on the driver's morale. When the dispatcher is kind, when the staff at the company is kind, it makes you want to go above and beyond for the company.
Welcome to Six Figure Trucker, the podcast where we share advice on how to be successful in trucking and have fun while doing so. We'll share stories, news, and advice on how to earn six figures in trucking, and we'll speak to guys and gals that are already doing so. Let's get to the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. This is a format where we elevate and celebrate the drivers that make our company what it is today and, of course, make the country what it is. They move the trucks that bring the food and products to you and your home, and we are glad to lift them up here on the Six Figure Trucker, again brought to you by Norton Transport. And joining us this evening is Abdur Martin. First of all, Abdur, where are you?
At this very moment, I am in Radford, Virginia.
Okay, so you're obviously on the road working.
For Norton right this moment. Yes, I am taking a food break.
That's what I thought I heard in the background. Are you at are you at a diner, a restaurant, a truck stop? Give us kind of the lay of the land.
Sure, I am at a supermarket called Food City, and it is laid out. It has a bakery in here, and it's almost like a Walmart, but it's in a little small town, so I guess it's taking the place of a Walmart. So it's called Food City.
So you're in Virginia now, is that right?
Yes, I'm in Radford, Virginia. I'm looking at my receipt.
Okay. Now, you chose the supermarket. Tell us why you chose it when you're on the road driving. You've got the whole world in front of you, but you chose the supermarket. Tell us why.
Okay, so actually, the supermarket kind of chose me because I was looking for an exit that had diesel. And sometimes these signs will tell you that the gas station is right off the exit. It says 0.5 miles to the next gas station. Unfortunately, when I got off, I drove 0.5 miles. It wasn't there. So I'm not sure what happened. So I just put in my GPS closest gas station, and it led me to Food City. And that's how I got here.
So they have diesel there at the supermarket?
They do. Yes, they have diesel at the supermarket, Food City. Yes, they do. And I've never been here before, and now you know. Food City in Radford, Virginia, and they have a really nice layout in here. They have a diner in here where you can sit and eat some of their food that they make at their bakery. And yes, I found this pretty much by accident.
Gotcha.
And I probably will come here again in the future.
So obviously you like it. What's for dinner tonight, Abdur?
So I've never seen this before. The only thing I've seen close to this is a soup that they make at Pilot. This is called turkey and vegetable soup.
Okay.
I've never seen this before. I've seen chicken vegetable soup, but this is turkey vegetable soup, and it's pretty good.
I was going to say, have you tried it?
And it's loaded with turkey. Yes, I'm eating it. I'm eating it now.
So it's loaded with turkey. What else? I mean, obviously we got some vegetables.
It has corn. It has sweet peas. It has carrots. It has some type of broth.
Gotcha. It's pretty tasty.
It is. I will admit it's kind of overloaded with the turkey. So I was eating it with the fork. The fork was giving me too much turkey. So I said, let me try a spoon. The spoon, it wouldn't put so much turkey on there. I just wanted the vegetables more now because it's really, really loaded with turkey.
Well, it sounds like you got your money's worth.
I did. And not just that. You know what she did, sir? Because I was a trucker, she gave it to me for $2.76.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, that was very nice of her.
She was just hooking you up because she knew you were out there working hard on the road.
Absolutely.
That's got to make you feel good.
It does. It really, really does. You know, people think we have a easy job. We really don't, especially in the driveaway industry. You know, it's just hard work out here. We have to drive for other people. We have to deal with breakdowns. You know, we gotta just deal with construction. It's hard, but it's fun at the same time for me. I love what I do.
Now, tell me about, this experience just happened to you. She's giving you a price break on your turkey vegetable soup there. And, I mean, when that happened, obviously you didn't see it coming, but and you couple that with the difficulties of the job, how does that balance it out? How does it make you feel better?
Yeah, it makes me feel good that she noticed that we work hard on the road. And she was young. She wasn't an older person. She was young. She was probably around 22. And she said, because you're a trucker. And also, I got a hat that I always wear. She also complimented my hat. My hat says, be humble. And she complimented me on my hat. And when we walk in with these headphones on, people automatically know you're a trucker or assume it. So, yeah, it made me feel good. She recognized that we were doing a good job out there.
Now, tell me a little bit about what prompted you to wear a hat, which I'm guessing you do it quite often, that says be humble.
Yes, it's very important to me. This is something that I practice. My email address is Striving for Peace. That's my personal email, Striving for Peace. I created that email maybe 8 years ago now, and I'm always practicing bettering myself. So I try to be humble all the time. I know nobody's perfect. But when I saw the hat, I said that matches something that I'm always trying to do. So I be humble. I wear this hat. This is my hat. I wear it very, very often because I try to practice what I preach.
I got you. You're listening to Abdur Martin here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Abdur, I got to ask you this, wearing that hat, be humble. How do you do that as a driveway transport driver? And, we kind of touched on it a little bit about the breakdowns, construction, just perils of the road you may run into depending upon where you are. We're in the winter season. Obviously, you can run into some problems. I know out I-80 out in Wyoming, we've got drivers that are stranded out there now. How do you be humble in that kind of situation?
Wow, just do it. Like the Nike logo is or used to be, just do it. In fact, my humbleness, I actually had to, really dive in it today. I actually had a breakdown this morning. I woke up early this morning. They say when you make a plan, they say if you want to see God laugh, make a plan. And
that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yes. So I made a plan, and the plan did not go through at all today, at all. And I wound up breaking down today. And it was a horrible morning, and I, just kept, my eye on the prize, and, the prize was getting my truck to where it needed to go. And I had to handle the situation on my own because where I was trying to get help from the people I picked this unit up from, they did not come to my rescue, so I had to do everything on my own. So I had to get an Uber and go back and forth with fuel because they didn't put enough fuel in the unit. And the Uber driver, she was very nice. Although she was getting paid, she was willing to go above and beyond because I had, fuel putting in her car. I was putting these gas canisters in her car. And, she took me back and forth and talked. I wound up leaving my phone in her car. I had to, go look for her. She was looking for me. And, usually Ubers, when they're trying to get back to you, they charge you $15. Just to retrieve your property that you left in the unit in their car. But she was real nice about it, and yeah, so I was humble. And she, when you're humble with people, 99% of the time it's reciprocal. Right. Might have that 5% that say, hey man, I don't feel like being humble and nice. You left your phone in my car, and I'm gonna charge you the $15 anyway. So my humbleness on this road, being humble on the road, being humble to people, 99% of the times, it's reciprocal, either it's in the universe or with the people. So just being humble is the way to be,
It's going to bring you good fruit.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. You reap what you sow. That's true. And I'm a witness to it,
Gotcha.
And when stuff comes your way that's rough, I think the saying is, it's not how, it's how you, deal with it once it comes your way. So, yeah, so I deal with everything by trying to be humble. Not perfect, but I try to do it with everything trying to be humble. I try to be nice to everybody, try to treat everybody with respect because I like treating people the way I want to be treated. So that's why I wear the hat, and that's why I think humbleness should be used. Being humble it'll make your life easier. It makes mine easier.
Gotcha. Now, drifting around the edges, coming back into it, the nature of the breakdown was fuel related?
It was fuel related because I thought it was because the T-cage light came on, and then from experience, turning the key and it's trying to turn over, I said it has to be the fuel. So anyway, there's a place that we pick up from in Mount Holly called Auto Truck. When we go to this place has several locations where there is, they got trucks. They got so many trucks. They got several locations. So they got this location in Mount Holly. You got to go there first, get the paperwork. If you have an Uber and no tow car, you got to have the Uber wait. So this, you're paying more money, and then you got to go over to Gaston Dye, get the truck, and if the truck doesn't have no lights or no mud flaps, you got to go back to the beginning, which is Auto Truck. Got to go back over to the original place and get you your mud flaps and lights on. And in my quest to get back, the truck ran out of fuel, so they did not put enough fuel in the truck. And also at the same time when I got there, these units have numbers on the windows so you can identify which one you're supposed to get. I couldn't see any numbers this morning, so I had to go to each truck, open the truck because it was frost on the trucks. So by the time I got to my truck and found it, I had to cut the truck on. The little bit of fuel they had in there, I ran it for like maybe 3-4 minutes, maybe 5 to defrost. And that just took away from the fuel. So it was just one of those days.
Now, let me ask you this question. You had mentioned that if you want to make God laugh, make a plan. Now, as this day is unfolding for you today, it didn't go as planned, but yet you have this Uber driver who was there to kind of bail you out in a sense and was there to be a friend. How does that propel the rest of your day?
Well, when I have a day like this, because I usually, 99% of the time, I usually have great days. But when I have a day like this, I try to look for the lesson in it. I try to look for what is God trying to tell me. And today, I was just telling a friend earlier about this day. I told her that I think when we have days like this, it's just God wanting you to reflect on whatever he wants you to reflect on. And also, he just brings you back down to earth. And he's telling you, to me, it's like a way of him telling you to reflect and bring you down to earth. So I had a day of reflection. So I looked at it a day of reflection, and in that reflection, I saw the Uber driver, being nice to me. Other issues, I wound up paying off a lot of. It took me reflecting. I started reflecting on some bills I have to pay on my credit history. So I went on and paid those off. So I probably wouldn't have gotten to this type of reflection if everything would have just kept moving forward and fast. So I got to pay off some bills. I, was treated nice by the Uber driver. I was treated nice by the young lady here. So, and it gave me time to reflect on whatever problems I have that I need to resolve. And so, so I'm always looking for the signs, and I'm always listening for the signs. So today, when I have days like this, to me, that's God telling me to listen and, or reflect. So
if I'm hearing you correctly, it was a chance for you to hit the reset button.
There we go. That's perfect. You said it in short words. That was very good.
Well, you sound like even though you've had a bad day at the beginning, it sounds like at the end you've had a good day.
Yes. And I always find a meaning in my bad day. So and like I told you earlier, I'm always trying to make a good day. I tell a friend of mine, he's a pastor, Pastor Williams. His wife always says, "You're always in a great mood." And I always tell her, well, I did tell her, yeah, I'm always, it's very rarely I have a bad day. Yeah, that's it.
Now, we talked a lot about the hat and be humble. Now, tell us a little bit about that email address you got, Striving for Peace. How did that come about, and how does that filter into your life?
Okay, Striving for Peace. So Oh, so I was married for 10.5 years and I was going through a divorce, and that was back in 2014 when the divorce was final, and it was a very rocky marriage the last 3 years, and I'm always trying to be a happy person, so so much joy was taken from me in those last 3.5 years of the marriage. I told myself I will never let nobody take my peace again because I've always been at peace. I love peace. And yeah, so that's how that came about, striving for peace. Because I was striving for peace. And I'm going to tell you, sir, from 2014 up until today, the second we're on this phone, nobody has been able to break my peace since then.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You're listening to Abdur Martin here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Abdur is one of our drivers that, well, let me just ask you, Abdur, from where you are, we know you're in Virginia. Where are you headed? What are you driving?
Okay, I'm driving a Mack chassis, cabin chassis. It's going to McMahon Trucking in Charlotte, North Carolina. They close tonight at 11, and I will be able to drop the truck, and that's where I'm going, Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina.
Now, you're a North Carolina guy. You live in North Carolina, right?
I live in North Carolina. I live in, Kernersville, North Carolina.
Where?
And it's right between, literally in the middle of Greensboro, North Carolina, and Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
I got you. So will you be sleeping in your own bed tonight?
I will. Yes, I will. And that's one thing I love about Driveaway. You know, if you do everything in an orderly fashion and you do everything in a systematic way, the way I am, I'm very systematic with this, if that's a word. I want to be home. I try to do something short going out and then something short coming back in. I like to be home. So throughout the week, I'm usually home 5 days out. You see, because I don't work on the weekend. So 3 days out of a week, I'm usually home, and the other 2 I might be out. But yes,
I got you.
So yes, I'll be home tonight, sleep in my bed. Yes, sir.
Now you, I guess you would be, a little different than a lot of drivers. A lot of drivers like the long runs, but we've often said when you look up on it with further examination, there's a living to be made on the shorties, particularly if you live in a region like you do that offers a lot of work. And tell us why you like the shorties over the long runs.
Okay. So the main reason I like the short runs is because for 6 years, maybe 7, I watched my daughter and son actually grow up quickly, right before my eyes. Every time I would come home from doing the long runs like California and Utah, Wyoming, I would come back and they would be a half a foot or a foot taller, and I got tired of that. That was the ultimate reason for me not wanting to be on the road. I didn't want to watch my kids grow up like that. I didn't want to be that driver because I don't have to be with Driveaway. With Driveaway, you are able to make a very comfortable living by doing short runs. And like you said, when you're in a region like North Carolina, like I am, and there's a lot of hubs there, and you are able to, get these runs that's going to Atlanta and, get runs coming back from Atlanta, coming right back home to North Carolina. So North Carolina to me is a super place to make a living off of doing short runs with Driveaway. And but overall, my ultimate reason was for my kids. But you can make a comfortable living with Driveaway doing the short runs, especially when you live in North Carolina.
Now, do you mostly, doing the short runs, are you mostly at home by night? You're doing day runs?
Yes, I'm mostly back home at night. So what I try to do is, I'll grab a run coming from out of, let's say, High Point.
Right.
Go to Atlanta. That's 4 hours, and then get something else coming right back, either to High Point or even Charlotte, And if I have to, I will get on the Amtrak. It's another good source of getting around, getting on the Amtrak and get back home. So yes, 99% of the time I'm back home at nighttime. And I'm not gonna lie, I even like runs like from High Point to Charlotte. It's not a far trip, and then I'll make that money and try to get something coming back. If I don't, I'll take a train back and I'll just relax for the day. With Driveaway, you're able to really take advantage of the day, if you don't want to really go out. This is a perfect career.
Well, you laid out a good point there. You're able to see your children grow up and not grow up with, so fast when you're not there to see it, but you're able to see them grow up. And also in the shorties, you're sleeping in your own bed. But the other obvious thing there, you're not spending money on hotels.
Yes. Yes, you're right, sir. That's another good thing. When you're doing long runs, you're spending money on hotels, you're spending money on food, you're spending money on showers. Yeah, a lot more money is coming out of your pocket when you're doing long runs. Yeah, so, and you made an excellent point. You save a lot of money.
Now, do you pack food with you when you're making a run? Or I know you're sitting at Food City now, or do you eat on the road? How do you tackle that particular challenge?
It's a great question. No, I don't pack food because my intention is always to be back home.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't pack food. But when I'm at home, I leave out in the morning. I'll grab me a bowl of cereal. I only eat. I eat very light. So thank God, because I would be spending a bunch of money. So no, I'll go out and I'll eat some cereal, and throughout the day, I'm eating, bananas and fruits and stuff like that. And by the time I come back home, I'll get something to eat. But if I have to eat out, I'll eat one meal, and a lot of times it is either the Waffle House, same meal for the last 11 years, scrambled eggs and cheese, grits and toast, no meat, orange juice, and then if I get hungry throughout the rest of the day, I just grab up bananas, oranges, apples at Love's or Flying J, and so I try to keep it very minimal when I'm eating out. Like tonight, this is very rare for me because I'm supposed to have been home. I'm supposed to have been home. So no, I don't pack food, sir, because my intention is always to be home.
I got you. Now I wanted to ask you about that meal at Waffle House. Is that always with coffee? Are you a coffee guy?
I'm not a coffee guy. I don't drink coffee. I always was.
That's another savings
crazy.
Right there.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee. I was always scared of getting coffee. If this is a thing, coffee tea. I never wanted to have brown tea. So I'm always been scared of coffee because I didn't want my teeth to turn brown. But I always said I didn't want to look silly by sipping on some coffee out of a straw. But no, I don't drink coffee. So it's the same meal, scrambled egg and cheese, grits and toast. I had to slow down on the amount of eggs because I was getting 3 eggs. And that's it. So no, I don't drink coffee, and I do put sugar in my grits. By the way,
I got you. That's another topic right there. Sugar or not in the grits. What about salt and pepper?
No, I don't put salt. I don't put salt and pepper. But I will tell you this: within the last 6 months to 8 months, I don't know what I've been doing for the last couple of years. I have just found out how much I like pepper on my eggs.
Oh, I
love pepper on my eggs.
Oh, yeah, I'm a huge pepper guy on the eggs.
Really? Yeah, me too now. I have not. I just found out about this maybe 6 months ago. I'm like, well, I don't even know how it happened. If it happened by accident, but I love pepper on my eggs.
We're diving into the life and times of Abdur Martin here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Now, Abdur, you had said earlier, you're a systematic guy, and we're seeing that proven true here when you're talking about you have the same thing at Waffle House each time when you're out there. Now, being a systematic guy, I'm sure that helps you out. We've touched a little bit on how it helps you on the road, but you take shorties. Is it important to you? And you also mentioned if you want to make God laugh, make a plan. But taking shorties, do you have to have as much of a plan, or do things just seem to fall into place?
No, you still have to plan. I think you still should plan because something can always go wrong. As we've seen today, was supposed to be shorties, and it didn't work out. God laughed at me today. So, Mom, no, yes, sir. You should always plan. Look at the weather. Where are you going? No matter if it's the same place you go to all the time. I go to Georgia all the time. I go to Salem and Roanoke, Virginia. I'm constantly looking at the weather, seeing how the weather is. We want to look at the news to see about or listen on the radio about traffic, So you should always plan but always understand your plan may not always go through. But yeah, taking shorties, to me, the benefit to me is you'll get home a lot. I'm a homebody, so that's another reason why I don't mind the shorties. I love being at home. So, but yeah, planning is very important no matter if you're going to California, all the way from North Carolina, or if you're just going to Charlotte, you want to plan.
Gotcha. I want to go a little philosophical with you here. You just said that God laughed at you today, and I'm guessing, now correct me if I'm mistaken, but I'm guessing you didn't laugh back at him, you laughed with him. There is a difference.
Yeah, I laugh with. I laugh with you, yeah. I ain't going to laugh back at you. Yeah, I laugh with God, yeah.
Now, how do you explain the difference?
Well, I guess with laughing with him, I understand that there's nothing I can do. This is his plan. This is, it's already written. And within this, I know that he's teaching me a lesson. So I might as well. Hey, look, they say if you can't beat him, join him. Can't beat him, so I might as well go and join him.
I got you. All right, Abdur, I wanted to ask you this. You're going to be home tonight. How far from home are you?
Well, right now, I'm in Radford, like I said, Radford, Virginia. I will be delivering this truck, God willing, by 9:44. They close at 11. I'm going to leave right after this interview. And once I drop it off, I will be an hour and a half from home. And I have another unit already ready for me. That's why I love Driveaway, because you can have another company under your belt. I will be getting that unit from a 24/7 location and taking that home. I live in Kernersville. This unit is going to High Point, North Carolina, and High Point is literally 15 minutes from my home.
So you're going to deliver at 9:45, give or take, this evening, and pick up another unit, have no travel costs, and be ready to hit the road again tomorrow?
No. Tomorrow, Saturday, I don't work. I don't work on the weekends. Another good thing about Driveaway, you can pick and choose your own schedule. No, I will not be working tomorrow. I will take off tomorrow. I plan to go to the flea market. I'm a flea market person, and that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So, no, I will not work tomorrow.
But you can stage that other unit.
That other unit where I live, I have the safest locations. The truck will be parked at my home for the weekend.
I got you.
But the truck that I'm picking up is secured already. I got to go check it out. It's a 24-hour location in Cleveland, North Carolina.
I got you. So bottom line, you've been able to minimize travel costs, and you'll be home for the weekend.
Yes, and when I plan something, I'm always trying to find something that's not too far away where I can go get it and go home. Yeah, I try to go wherever I go. I try to have a truck where I can get out of that situation wherever I deliver to. So.
That's smart planning. Smart planning. Now, you're a flea market guy. Now, you've already planned on going to a flea market tomorrow. Is this an indoor or outdoor flea market?
It's an outdoor flea market. Tomorrow will be my first time ever going to this particular one. It's in Salisbury, North Carolina. So I don't know nothing about it, but I will be going tomorrow, God willing. And notice I said God willing because I'm making a plan. And, yeah, so we'll see.
Now, will you be looking for something in particular, or maybe just whatever comes your way?
No, actually, tomorrow I will be selling stuff.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing tomorrow.
That's what I call what would add up to wham. Are you familiar with wham?
No, I'm not. Tell me.
Walking around money. You've got some walking around
that.
money. Yeah, absolutely.
There we go. No, but guess what? I told my fiance, I said, do you know what I'm going to do with that money? I said, guess. She says, what? I said, Because I'm telling you, I reflected today, and I paid off some credit cards. I paid off some bills that was on my Credit Karma. I said I'm gonna pay more bills off. Whatever money I make tomorrow, I'm gonna pay some more bills off on my credit report.
Good deal, man. I wanted to ask you. You kind of led me into it because you had talked a little bit about a kind of a painful divorce you went through back in 2014, but you've mentioned a fiance, so obviously you've turned another page here.
Yes, I did. It took me a long time because after my divorce, I didn't date for years, and I really was taking time out for myself because I was a brutal divorce. And so 2020, 2019, late 2019, I actually got back out there and I met my fiance. She is a police officer, and she is one of the nicest persons, one of the nicest persons that I've ever met. And she's the kind of person I've been looking for literally all my life. I said it took all this time in my life, to go do a girlfriend here and there, then getting married for me to get to her. So we have been together for 2 years in April. I must admit, I'm calling her my fiance, but she's not technically my fiance. I call that because I did give her a promise ring as of, I want to say it was November. I know it's been a long time. She gave me mine, but I was just being patient. I wanted to get her the best one I could get. I got a really, really, really nice promise ring. So if she doesn't hear this broadcast, she'll know that I'm going to propose to her on the 14th of February.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
So then she'll be officially my fiance, sir.
I got you.
But yes, I'm back out there. She makes me happy. She's a good lady.
I got you. And I was going to ask you something there, kind of philosophically too. You said it took you this long to get to her, and obviously you didn't have a plan, but things kind of came full circle and worked out for you.
Oh, yeah. See, I like that. You're absolutely correct. Sometimes when you're not looking for, a lot of times when you're not looking for something, a lot of times when you want something and you just don't look for it, it comes right to you. Like, I have a friend. This is what they used to do. When they would lose something, they would say, I'm not even going to look for it because it's going to show up. And I watched how that would show up. And it's the same thing they say also. If you forget something, if you're trying to remember something, just go about your day. It's going to come back to you. So I wasn't looking for, I did go looking for her, to be honest with you, because I got back out on the scene. But I took time out for myself, and it eventually God lined it up. And here we go, me and her, and we're going strong.
You're listening to Abdur Martin here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Now, Abdur, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you to keep your fiance, or not technically your fiance just yet, away from this podcast. We're on many different formats. We're on many different venues, but I got to ask you this question. Now, you got to keep her away from it before you answer this question. You've already selected the date, a very popular one, Valentine's Day. How are you going to do the proposal?
Well, to be honest with you, sir, I don't have a plan yet. It might be a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a good thing because God might laugh at me. But right now, I don't have a plan. I know it's going to be on that day. But I will tell you how I gave you the promise ring. We were watching it was a Christmas special. And it was about a man. It's about a woman who was dating a man. And he was taking too long to propose to her.
Right.
And she said, when are you going to propose to me? When are you going to propose? It's been like 7 years. He says, I'm going to get around to it. So I paused that film and I asked her, I said, what do you think about this guy, not proposing to her? And it's been 7 years. As she was explaining that she thought it was wrong, I said, yeah. I said, well, when I asked her something like, when I get you this promise ring, I took out actually a video, or like I looked on Google. I said, which one of these rings would you pick? She said she picked one. I said, well, and then I pulled the ring out. I said, well, how about this one? And that's when I pulled it. Yeah. Nice. So as of now, I don't have a plan for how I'm going to do it, but it's going to be on that date, on February 14th.
Now, when you did the promise ring, with the story you just laid out there, was that planned or just something that happened spontaneously?
No, that was planned, and it
Okay.
worked good. So God was with me that day. He didn't laugh at me. So no, that was planned. That was planned. It was planned that I was gonna give it to her that day. But the part that came in with the movie and me, that was perfect. That was God. That's another thing. God was. I had to laugh with God that day because God made that special because He made that lady and this man talk about marriage, and that was just perfect. I just fell right into place. So God
laid it out right in front of you.
He laid it right out in front of me.
Now, we've talked a lot about planning in your personal life and on the road in your professional life as a driver here for Norton Transport. This is Abdur Martin here joining us on the Six Figure Trucker. You mentioned to me Carson, your dispatcher Carson, who is a great planner. Tell us a little bit about Carson and how she works with you in working a plan together.
Yeah, Miss Carson. Now, I think her and God may work together because her plans usually work out perfectly. I think that they working together. She's just an excellent dispatcher. There's nothing that I can ask her for that she won't give me. And that's why because she's such a good dispatcher, because she has such a great attitude, and I tell people, and I also express to other drivers that companies will be very, very successful if they are kind, if the dispatchers are kind to their drivers. That plays, and I tell it, it's another company that I'm with. I tell them the same thing. That plays a humongous part on the driver's morale. When the dispatcher is kind, when the staff at the company is kind, it makes you want to go above and beyond for the company. So Miss Carson, with her attitude towards me, I'm assuming she's like this with all the other drivers. With her attitude of, just being kind to me and, always being understanding, she's really one of the best dispatchers, if not the best, because Miss Carly was really nice and really good. She was my first dispatcher, so they're probably running neck and neck. But yes, Miss Carson is such a nice person. She's understanding. It makes me want to go above and beyond. And I understand when you guys have these scheduled dates, I try to really make it happen for Miss Carson and myself. But yes, she's just very understanding and very nice, and I just like her attitude. It makes me want to deal with her. I do have a dispatcher at another company where she's horrible, and she's so bad, it's not just with me. Yeah, she's horrible. She actually has drivers who, when they call in, although people may know that you guys, when y'all see our names when we call in, they don't want to speak to her. They don't even. And then when she asks for them to do something special, if Miss Carly was to ask me to do a run for free for her, going and coming, I would do it.
Wow.
I would do that for Norton. That's how good of a company you guys are. If you guys said, Abdur, and we need this thing, and we need this rant today. It's hot, but we ain't gonna be able to pay you for a year. It would get done. So
that's
with the other company,
man. We appreciate that.
Yeah, and I mean that. Oh man, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. But yeah. So anyway, making a long story short, Miss Carson's attitude her attitude and understanding makes me want to go above and beyond for Norton. That's why I said she deserves a raise because she can get you motivated. So kindness is a battery. Kindness is an energizer. Kindness is very important, and she and Norton, you guys, I got to give it to you guys. I will pitch you guys at number one because I've worked for these Driveaway companies. I pitch you there, number one, because you guys are very, very understanding, and you're kind, and you do what you say you're going to do for the drivers. You really do. I called Mr. Levi one day, Levi Scutchins.
Oh yeah.
I asked him to do something, and every time I ask him to do something, he does it.
Oh yeah.
And it was one day I asked him to do something, and I really thought that day he was going to forget because it was just so hectic that day, and he did it. It was done within 15 minutes, and I had to call him back. I called him back right after he done. I said, Mr. Levi, I was just calling to tell you, you are a man of your word, and I thank you. So, bottom line is, Miss Carson, kind and understanding. Levi Scutchins the same, but Norton overall is an excellent company. Excellent company. And I'm happy that I was told about you by a guy. I can't remember his name. Oh, man, I can't remember his name right now. But I met him up there in Rydell, Georgia, in Morgan Bodies. And I'm so happy that he introduced me to Norton Transport.
You're listening to Abdur Martin here, sharing his stories, times on the road, times off the road, here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Abdur, we're very appreciative of a guy of your ability, your outlook, your personality, and just attitude that you have. And thank you very much for the compliments you paid our way. I was going to ask you this question, which you've already answered it, but I'll ask it still the same. Obviously, I know you work for another company. Don't name that company, but you're pleased with what we're doing for you. And I wanted to ask you what you've kind of laid out what we're doing right. Where could we improve?
Okay, it's very hard when you're they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let me think, and that's amazing. It's hard for me to figure out something. If it's taking me this long. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
You guys are on point.
All right. Well, we'll take that. Where's your next load going to take you? Let's see. Oh, you got the one out of Cleveland. Where's it going?
It's from Cleveland. It's going to High Point, and then on Monday I have one coming out of Mount Holly going back up to Roanoke, Virginia, and then I got another one for you guys going from Salem down to Rydell, Georgia.
Man, you got this thing figured out.
I really do. I really, really do. This is something I really got figured out. Before I started working with Norton, I actually owned a few convenience stores. I sold them, and then I got into boarding houses. I had 50 tenants and 7 boarding houses. So I've always been good at putting things together business-wise. I found out about Driveaway, so I run this like a business.
Right. I got to ask you, owning convenience stores, running a boarding house, and Driveaway, which one do you like the best and why?
Oh, Lord. 100% Driveaway. With the stores, I had to deal with so many customers. With the boarding houses, I had to deal with so many people. It was a different class of people that I was dealing with. I had to be the police, the jury, the judge, a mother, a father, because there was just so much going on with adults there. With Driveaway, I'm in the truck by myself, and the only people I have to see throughout the day is the person that's signing out the truck, signing for the truck, and the Uber driver. So this is so peaceful. So remember, I'm striving for peace. And this right here, this is it. Driveaway.
That's fantastic, man. I got to ask you this question, not philosophical, but probably a little philosophical, but on the personal side, you're dating, hope to be engaged very soon technically, have the promise ring for the woman in your life there. You said she's a police officer. Does she keep you straight? Mm-hmm. Does she keep you straight?
Absolutely. When I tell you it's only one other person I know as nice as her. And I tell her this all the time because they act just alike. And that's my dad. That's my hero. And yeah, she's very nice. And she knows how to tell you off in a very kind way. So yeah, she keeps me straight. In fact, when they need to do negotiations, she's one of the people that they call.
Oh,
but yeah,
okay.
She keeps me straight. Yeah, she keeps me straight. But she also recently told someone that I keep her straight as well. So anyway, we keep each other straight. So yes, she keeps me straight though.
Sounds like a good match, man. If you guys keep each other in line.
It's a perfect match.
Yeah, fantastic. Mm-hmm. How did you meet her?
I met her through social media. I met her on Facebook dating app.
Okay.
And I had been introduced to the dating apps by a friend of mine when I got back into, wanting to get back out and see if I can meet somebody. So
right.
Some of the dating apps that he was telling me about, I did try them and they were horrible. But the Facebook dating app was excellent because the first thing that people on Facebook would ask for is your Facebook page. And I like that. And so they wasn't able to, see
your interests and that kind of stuff.
They can see my interest. They can see if I'm being honest. I can see if they're being honest. They couldn't catfish me. I couldn't catfish them. Not that I wanted to catfish nobody, but yeah. So Facebook dating app was the best dating app that I ever came across, and I started recommending it to people too. It was an excellent app to meet people. There was a lot of professionals on there, but the biggest thing about it to me, you was able to see their Facebook page. So yeah, that's how I met on Facebook, the Facebook dating app. And I see people, people frown upon the dating apps, but I don't care, because you can meet somebody in a library or the supermarket or at church, and you could be, headed for a divorce, just as fast as you could meet somebody on the app. So
Gotcha.
I'm proud to say I met on Facebook dating app. We really, really hit it off.
You're listening to Abdur Martin here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Abdur, I got to ask you, how long have you been doing this, and how long do you see yourself continuing to do this?
I've been doing this for 11 years now, this April coming, and I see myself doing it until I retire.
Wow.
I really love it. And matter of fact, yeah, I do. I actually see this as, because my dad does it. My dad actually works with Norton.
Oh, okay.
I actually introduced him to Norton. Yes, his name is Arthur Kennedy. That's my dad. That's my hero. And he actually loves Norton as well. But yeah, he actually retired. He took care of us. He actually retired from a trucking company in New York doing regional work called Border Products. And that was my first summer job at that company. I was 15 years old. But yeah, I look at myself like him. He's retired, and he came back in to do this because this is a perfect retirement. This is a perfect retirement position. You work when you want to work. You make your own schedule. As long as you do one run a month, you're with the company as long as they're in existence. So I see myself doing this until I can't even say retire, until I don't want to work anymore.
How far away is that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you can see future.
I can foresee. Yeah, I'm making a plan, God, so don't laugh. There was a gentleman, I'm going to call him a young man. He was with the other company that I'm with, and he retired at the age of 79.
Oh, my.
So, yes, he had his tow car. I used to ride with him sometime. He would pick me up from out of Florida at the age of 78. And he was in excellent shape. He kept himself in shape. And that's another thing I want to tell you, too. I keep myself in shape. I work out almost every day.
Oh, wow.
But I work out constantly because I take doing this as if I was a basketball player or a football player or someone in sports. You should always work out because your job depends on you being healthy and strong. So I work out, keeping in mind that I want to continue to be able to do this, get in and out these trucks and, turn the steering wheel and be able to turn my neck. I keep healthy by working out because I want to continue to work. I think if you work out, you will be able to continue to work. So yeah, if you want to continue to, do your job for another 20 years, work out. And because, like a boxer. A boxer has to work out in order to, be number one in the ring. So forth with the basketball players on the court. So if I want to be number one in the truck, I got to continue to work out and keep myself healthy. So yeah, I see another 20 years. I could do this. I could do 15 years. God willing. God willing.
All right. You're listening to Abdur Martin here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Abdur, we're about to wrap it up here. You've been great. We are very gracious, or very grateful, rather, that you've spent the time with us. And I want to close it out by, what would you say to someone who is considering Driveaway as a career? What would your advice be to that person?
Go for it. Go for it. It's something that I till this day, it's like a dream. Sometimes it's a saying that things sound too good to be true. And when I'm explaining Driveaway to someone, I always throw that in there. I always say, I know it sounds too good to be true, but it's real. This is one of the best things that I ever encountered. Yes, go for it. Go for it. Go for it. I said it 3 times, those 2 words. If you're considering a career, go for Driveaway. Go for it. You can't beat it. You can't. What other job out there where you can choose your own schedule. You get paid every day. You only have to work one time a month or maybe twice a month to stay with the company. I don't know no other company like this unless you actually, out there owning your own business. This is perfect. This is great.
Abdur Martin joining us on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Absolutely enjoyed talking with you, hearing your philosophy of life, how you treat things, how you roll with the day, how you let the day not take over you. We really appreciate you, Abdur Martin, working with us here at Norton Transport, and the gratitude you've showed us. It's a mutual feeling.
Well, I really appreciate Norton. Yeah, and it's sincere.
All right, thank you very much. Abdur Martin here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Abdur, I hope you make it on time and you're in your bed this evening by 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Six Figure Trucker is brought to you by Norton Transport. Norton Transport is a drive-away trucking company that customers can rely on. It offers excellent independent contract driving opportunities to professional, courteous, and qualified drivers that can provide the kind of service we deliver. If you're interested in learning more about Norton or just want to subscribe to the show, check out 6-figuretrucker.com. That's 6-figuretrucker.com.